good morning. My name is Chad Wootton. I'm Associate Vice President for External Affairs in the Office of the Provost at Texas A&M University. It's my pleasure to serve as MC for this morning's announcement. We thank all of you for joining us and for having some time to learn about the next steps for Texas A&M University and our partnerships here in the Rio Grande Valley. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce our Chancellor, John Sharp, a longtime leader for our state and a leader for the nation's leading public higher education system.
Thank you. Thank you, Chad. Well, it is a wonderful day to be in the Rio Grande Valley of Texas. Something happened yesterday that is truly historic. About 18 months ago, I get a call from Alonzo Cantu and Chuy Hinojosa. You need to come to our office. Of course, they give me, as usual, about 4 hours warning, but I got here. And Chuy had an idea about something to do for the Rio Grande Valley of Texas. And he talked about something that everybody in this room knows, and anybody that's ever run for office in this part of the world knows, and that is there is a distinct culture in the Rio Grande Valley that sometimes makes it hard for young men and young women, even of the highest caliber in grades and GPAs, to go across the state to a flagship university in College Station or in Austin. For whatever reason, their families want them to stay close. For whatever reason, maybe it has to do with affordability or whatever. And so their idea was, if it's difficult to take kids across the state to a flagship institution, why don't we bring the flagship institution to the Rio Grande Valley? Something that's never been done before with a flagship. And that's exactly what happened. Yesterday, after only 13 months in record time, partly because you have a member of the Coordinating Board of Higher Education from the Rio Grande Valley, and Fred Farias right here on the corner, who made the motion yesterday. The Coordinating Board of Texas Public Colleges and Universities approved the Texas A&M University McAllen Center. It is now a reality, and the groundbreaking will occur December 15th. Thank you, Fred Farias. This is going to be a remarkable, remarkable institution. I'll bring Jim Nelson up in a minute, who has done all the work. On behalf of President Young, I want to thank, in our Board of Regents, I want to thank all of you for being a part of this. What made it possible then was when Mayor Darling stepped up. And Mayor Darling said the city of McAllen wants to help make this happen, put their money where their mouth was, in conjunction with the great support of Judge Garcia, came to us and made sure that it was irresistible. And we thank you for everything that you've done. It would absolutely not have happened without you. Thank you very much. So on December the 15th, we will start construction of this is what it'll look like. And there's some pictures of it in the packet, and this is what the back side of it looks like. Little maroon will look good in the Rio Grande Valley. And it's going to be an amazing institution. What we're going to offer is engineering courses at first. The first classes, we're not going to wait for this building. We've struck a deal with South Texas College and Shirley Reed and Dr. Margot, where we're going to rent space from them to start the classes next year. This facility will open on about September, be open for that freshman class in September of 18. This will be the first building that's part of that. We fully expect an idea school to locate next to that in the same subdivision. This is going to be the only place in the nation where you can start kindergarten, go all the way through college, get a master's degree perhaps, and never leave the same subdivision. That doesn't exist anywhere in the United States of America, and it's going to be a really great deal. This is going to, the young men and women that apply here are not going to be members of Texas A&M Rio Grande Valley. They are going to be Aggies. They are going to be graduates of Texas A&M University. They're going to have this same ring. In order to get in, you're going to have the same qualifications as if you were going to College Station. It's the same. They're going to have sports passes. We may well have buses to run them to the football games and back, all kinds of things. They're going to be Aggies, so get used to the word howdy in the Rio Grande Valley. You're going to hear an awful lot of it. And so without further ado, if I may, and thanks particularly for the committee, we have a committee of people here headed by Alonzo Cantu, who have advised us through this process, who have helped us through this process, and will continue to advise and help President Young and the Provost and I on this process. And I would like each one of them with Alonzo to stand up and be recognized by everybody. And thank you, Alonzo, in particular, for the occasional kick in the rear that you so ably provide. And I appreciate that. Really appreciate it. I sometimes forget Alonzo's not an Aggie. I think he has all the great qualities of being an Aggie. I'd like to call up your Senator Chuy Hinojosa, without whom this absolutely would not have happened. Senator Hinojosa.
You know, this is such a special day that I decided to wear my Aggie tie. Okay, I'm very happy to see this day for the simple reason that for us, education is very key here in the Rio Grande Valley in South Texas. We have so many positive events taking place here for us. The future is great, and education has always been the key. The key to get out of poverty, the key to success, and the key to grow our economy. For so many years, our students didn't have a place to go to college. We had UTRGV, but many of them wanted to go someplace else like A&M, and they could not afford it. And for us, I want to thank Chancellor Sharp for his leadership and his vision, and being very responsive to the needs that we have here in the Rio Grande Valley, because they already had a presence here through AgriLife, to Texas Health Rules campus here in South McAllen. So this just expands their footprint for us. And this is just another example of how we working together, the Valley delegation, Representative Bobby Guerra, Representative Terry Canales, Representative Sergio Munoz, and Oscar Longoria, and working with the judge, Ramon Garcia, and the mayor, and all of us can make things happen that will benefit and provide more options and more opportunities for our students to get a quality education and be successful. So Chancellor Sharp, I want to thank you, the Board of Regents, Dr. Farias, thank you for your leadership and the coordinating board. And I look forward to continuing providing more growth and more opportunities for all our students here in South Texas. Thank you so much.
And it would have been very difficult to make this happen without two things. One, the Permanent University Fund, and the other, the City of McAllen and the money that was put in by Mayor Darling and his city councilman. So, and his partnership with Ramon Garcia and the support the two of them provided is absolutely critical to this success. So Mayor Darling, would you come up and accept our thanks and say a few words?
Right. Well, howdy, Chancellor. I was so excited I forgot my tie today. So, you know, it just seemed like yesterday that I got summoned to fly up on Aircon 2 up to College Station and meet with you and the Valley delegation to talk about Texas A&M University. And then I remember we met on the ranch a couple months later, and it was a hunting trip. And so you said, I didn't know you hunted, Mayor, and I said, I don't. And you said, well, why are you pointing that gun at me? And so that was our first step to making a mutual agreement for a great event. You know, I'm so excited. About 2.5 years ago, we in McAllen decided that we needed to work at building a future for our kids. You know, everybody says your kids are the future. Well, that's kind of trite. Of course they are. But we want to make sure that we built a future for our kids so that they didn't go and leave and not come back. And so that was a two-pronged test. One was quality of life, but the other one was education. And this is, I'm so excited. This is fantastic, and there's a lot of people that deserve a lot of credit. I can't wait for the ground open. I'm going to take some night courses over there, I think, and I don't know if I have the GPA to get in or the scores to get in, but we're so excited and want to thank Texas A&M for this. This is really, to me, a game changer. The opportunities for our kids, especially in biomed, and those kind of courses are brand new with the new university and new medical school. It's going to be fantastic. So I want to thank everybody. It's exciting. I can't wait for the groundbreaking and the first class to go there. And Chancellor, I want to thank you personally for your dedication to our citizens in Rio Grande Valley. Thank you very much.
Yes, I was going to point out, we do have entrance requirements for this place. And what we said for Mayor Darling is equally true for County Judge Ramon Garcia. Wouldn't happen without these two guys really pressing the case and making sure everything followed through. So Judge Garcia, accept our thanks and please say a few words.
Thank you. Good morning. I think all of us can appreciate the importance of what's happening here today. But we really need to stress, and while there were quite a few of us that got involved in small parts of seeing this project come to fruition, this would not have occurred. And by this, let me first describe what I mean by this. We began this incredible journey about 3 years ago. We went from being a 4-year university to having 2 flagship universities located here in our South Texas community. University of Texas, now Texas A&M, both PUF universities, which means an incredible amount of financial support that we're now seeing come to fruition. And none of this would have happened but for the involvement of 3 individuals. That's our Senator, Chuy Hinojosa, Mr. Alonso Cantu, and John Sharp. Now, John Sharp, here he is, A&M, what does he have to do with the University of Texas? Well, we started talking to the University of Texas group and trying to convince them that they needed to locate down in our South Texas community. They were going back and forth, and then we get a phone call. John Sharp calls us up to College Station, and I said, well, that sounds great. And all of a sudden, we started realizing that what was happening was that Senator Hinojosa, Alonso, and John were trying to create some leverage. The art of the deal, as somebody would call it. And now we have A&M showing an interest. Well, then soon thereafter, the University of Texas made a decision to create that UT-RGV merger, and then the med school, and now A&M is here. We really appreciate the work and involvement of these 3 individuals, and they need to be thanked profusely. And so on behalf of our 900,000 plus residents of Hidalgo County and our South Texas community, we want to say thank you. Thanks.
That little scheme was Alonso's idea, wasn't it? But if it works, right? And I tell everybody, Alonso is just like the rest of us except rich, But there are few people in this that I have met, and I've met a lot of people across Texas, but there are very few people that I've met that are so totally dedicated, selflessly, to their community as Alonso Cantu is. And he has shown that in every single project. He has never, which is a surprising trait among folks as prominent as he is, he never tries to do anything for himself, for his own good. It's always about the Rio Grande Valley. And we ought to give him a big round of applause. But that was a pretty good scheme, I'm gonna have to say. I'd like Jim Nelson to just say a few words. Jim Nelson is the guy that did the groundwork for President Young and Chad and all of them working together to put this deal together. And just like him to give you a little explanation of what these first courses are going to be like, what the kids are going to see. And a nice round of applause for nice round of applause for Dr. Jim Nelson.
Thank you, Chancellor. Now, I'm going to tell you the rest of the story. You know, these guys all get together, they start to scheme back in the, College Station and go, this is a real good idea, we can make this happen. And you've been hearing it's been, 3 months or 3 years to 18 months ago. Chad and I got this phone call about 8:30 in the morning on the 6th of January of this year. And we were told, this is what we want you to do. Shortly after that, the Chancellor called and said, you're going to make it happen, right? And we don't think he was asking us a question. But really what has happened on this whole thing, what's been talked about, is absolutely amazing that we've done this much in such a short period of time. That I've been around higher education, as many of you have too, for the better part of the last 40 years. And to bring an effort of this type together this quickly is unbelievable. And there's been nobody that's ever sat in the room, from the mayor's office to the Edinburgh and McAllen ISD offices to South Texas, Texas Southmost, TSTC Harlingen, UTRGV, everybody coming together to really make something happen. And Fred, I do have to thank you too. As fast as these things go, the phone calls I get from Fred, now you've made sure you've covered this base, right? And just absolutely kept us on track. And I think everybody working together on that is what has made it happen this fast. To the point that beginning in the fall of 2017, less than a year from now, the first students will be admitted and will be studying interdisciplinary engineering on the campus of South Texas College for that first year. And if everything holds true, in 2021, the first class of students who studied here in McAllen will be graduating. We're working with UTRGV to make sure that we are offering compatible degrees, that we're not duplicating each other. We're looking at another degree in engineering technology, multidisciplinary technology. We're looking at potential degree program in biomedical sciences, as well as other degrees in the future that really complement both sides. And I think UTRGV has made a commitment, as have we, that we're going to sit at the table together. We're going to make sure that we're doing what is right for the Rio Grande Valley and providing the best education possible. But it's an exciting time. It's come together very, very fast, and it's really the community support, our legislative support, all the cities involved, Brownsville, Edinburgh, Harlingen, McAllen, everybody making this thing work is what's happened. I think it's been a phenomenal experience across the board.
Why don't you stay right here? Thank you. And let's open it up to members of the press that have some questions. And the reason I want him here, because he's real smart. But I want to say something about biomedical science degree. It is, to me, the most amazing degree on the A&M campus. Students there have the highest GPAs, the highest SAT scores of any class in Texas A&M University, period. It also has the highest percentage of Hispanics in that class, if that tells you anything. And it is, if hopefully we can work something out with RGV and the coordinating board, if we can bring that class here, what a compliment it's going to be to your new medical school, because you're going to need a bunch of doctors. These kids go directly into med school, go directly into dental school, go directly into veterinary medicine. Anything they want, doctoral programs, research programs. And those are the kind of folks you're going to have those research programs within this medical school. And we're hope to sign up 50 a year with regard to that. And so we think there's a big demand just because of the fact that hospital is moving here for young men and women to be here. So, yeah. Thank you. This is my cousin. I don't know. So, any questions? Yes, sir.
Other than the leverage of Alonso and Chuy and Judge and Marias, of course, on your board, was there any other hurdle that you came up against you, going, what, maybe not gonna happen, any other hurdle or none?
You know, I don't remember. No, I think that's pretty good leverage.
Yeah.
No, I think the wonder is that it moved that fast, and I think it moved that fast because Jim was on the ground and Fred was on the ground. And you can thank Governor Abbott for putting someone on the coordinating board from the Rio Grande Valley that cares about the Rio Grande Valley. And we know what he was doing. He was whispering to the staff and, hey, how come this ain't on the agenda? I mean, as much as 3 months ago, this was gonna happen in January maybe or something like that. And all of a sudden, one day we call Fred, the next day they said, oh, why don't we do that in October? Okay. And so we get that. And so there's a lot of people to thank from the governor on down for paying attention to the Rio Grande Valley.
When the groundbreaking is gonna be?
The what?
Groundbreaking's 15th of December.
Yeah.
For people that are interested in attending the school, where can they get more information?
We've got a website, and there'll be some information made available. It's Valley, it's what?
The admissions information is a few weeks away.
Yeah.
But Valley HEC.
valleyhec.tmu.edu is the website. There's a lot of information that is out there, the frequently asked questions about what's coming on, what can potentially happen. For the admission itself, the students will just apply to Texas A&M through Apply Texas, as do all other Aggies, and then they can express the preference that they'd like to study here in McAllen.
For you two Marines, it's like on the internet. It's this thing that we're.
The mayor was taking notes on that.
At the beginning, you mentioned the first cohort was gonna be of about 200 students, if I'm not mistaken, and then it was gonna grow through the years. Has anything changed on that?
No, within the engineering program that we're looking at right now, that's the first one coming in, we anticipate an opening class of 100 students that we want to recruit into that program, and then that will grow over time. The biomedical science, we feel that if we come to agreement with UTRGV, and that's the proper thing to do, we anticipate a first cohort of students coming to that program of 50, and then the engineering will kind of split between that going. The numbers we've been anticipating after about 5 years, we're anticipating a total enrollment here in McAllen within the degree programs offered of about 750 students.
There are about, at Texas A&M College Station right now, from these 3 counties, there are about 2,000 students there right now. We think there's a lot more that could be. Okay, thank you all very much, and thank the committee, and thank Alonzo, Chuy, Mayor, Ramon, for everything that y'all did, and Fred. Really appreciate it. Thank y'all very much.